Hey, welcome back to Cycle Fab. I'm Larry. Man, I've got a great video for you guys today. Yeah, Trans Copper 2 by Prismatic Powders. This is a translucent powder. Now, they say you're not supposed to spray this directly over chrome or stainless steel or polished aluminum, that, you know, having a base coat is the best way to go. And it is the best way to go because you get a mechanical bond, actual locking bond there. But I really like the real thing. You cannot duplicate chrome, period. They have come close, but you can't duplicate chrome. So a few years ago, I found this stuff and I sprayed it over chrome on a motorcycle. And it is awesome. And it's not just chrome that I sprayed it on either. It's polished aluminum, polished mild steel, titanium, brass. Let's see, what else here? Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I want to give you guys some examples of these. Now, the titanium is just a spacer that holds the steering head on the motorcycle. I won't get into why I use such a big spacer, but anyway, it just works. Now, I did not polish this. This is directly off the machine from the lathe into the powder coat booth. You know, of course, I cleaned it off and everything, but it just machined out so nice that I didn't need to polish it. Here is another example of just mild steel that's polished, and these are the handlebars. And it came out a little darker, but it still looks really good. Here's some polished aluminum. This is the lower part of the steering head, and also the instrument panel. This is all polished aluminum. Now, I polished this pretty much to a mirror finish. Matter of fact, it was a mirror finish. And this stuff just pops. I really like this Trans Copper 2. Since it's a transparent, the more coats you put on, the darker it gets. So in some cases, in order to get all the parts to match, I had to put more than one coat on, like 2 coats. And I have went up to 3. And it did fine. Of course, the more coats I put on, the darker it gets. So let's move on. Here's a chrome lever on the rear brake. Now, this actually actuates the pads inside of the drum itself. And this is probably the prettiest one that, I don't know, I just have little parts that I like better than others. I don't know why they finished out better. I mean, they're all chrome, or most of them are. Some of them are. Anyway, moving on from this, here's the rear blinker. And now this is brass, polished brass, and I just sprayed directly over it. Some of you are probably saying to yourselves, well, they say you're supposed to use a base coat on this. And yeah, they do say that. I contacted the company and asked their opinion on it. And I got an email back from them, and this is what it said. This is done quite often, though, especially for high-end show vehicles that don't necessarily see the elements often or are used often in general. Anyway, you can read the thing yourself. I'm horrible at reading out loud. But this just, this is a godsend to me because cosmetics are a big deal to me. I need everything to work properly, but, I really got to have something to look good. Now, I've been riding this bike for about 2.5 years now, and it's been out in the elements. This does not handle UV rays very well. You do get what they call an oxidation, and it's just a slight dullness to it. Well, you can remedy that by putting a clear coat UV protection over it. Which I should have done, but I didn't. I was lazy and really didn't know what I was doing back then. But I did ask the techs about that, and yeah, a lot of people do just run the Trans Copper, the transparents, without putting a UV protector on them, and then they go back and use something like this. Now, this is a powder coat polish. This happens to be by EASTWOOD. I don't know if Prismatic has their own or not. I didn't even think to look because I have so much of this left. It does not take much effort. Rub it on there and it shines right up. So I go that route. Now, the other color is what they call black ink. this is black ink black, I'm sorry. This is like the blackest black that's out there on the market. It has a high gloss rating of 85, which apparently is high in powder coat. I love this stuff. And also it's durable up to 120 inch-pounds of, direct hit. Whereas the translucent isn't. It's only up to 100 inch-pounds. But motorcycles take a beating going down the road. I mean, debris off the road and stuff like that. I haven't really noticed that many chips, if any. And I'll show you some pictures, some other pictures of the bike later on in the video. So stay tuned for that. It'll be at the end. If you want to go ahead and fast forward through that, you can. But anyway, it came out really sweet, really sweet. Now, let's see, some of the other powders here, went over the mild steel, titanium. Okay, here's some stainless. These are the front motor mounts, or the spacers in between the frame. I didn't really use a lot of stainless on this bike, but it's 17.4, by the way, if you're wondering. It polishes up just fine, and I sprayed it, and it came out copper. Also, the motor mounts here, they were already chrome, so you can see how they turned out. Anyway, the example that I have for you today is this right here. It's a chrome fender, and actually, surprisingly, it's in really good shape for being 1981 vintage. This is off of a GS 550 Suzuki. But I want to powder coat this in trans copper 2 and cook it and show you guys what it looks like. And I know it'll come out well because I've used this stuff before. So if you like this video, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too, so you know when my next video is coming out. Now, let's go ahead and get on with this and check it out. Okay, I'm getting ready to powder coat this. I just want to let you guys know that this is the last time you'll be seeing the Harbor Freight used in my videos. Maybe not the last time, but I want to be going back to the Eastwood. The reason why I've been using the Harbor Freight is because I got a request to. Harbor Freight guys just wanted to see this used. So that's the reason why I've been using it. Now, let's go ahead and blast this thing. Also, all the products that I have shown in this video today will be listed down below. Now, I won't have links on all of them, but I will have descriptions of them and, of course, where you can get them from. So, let me go ahead and get to this. All right. It's came out sweet, man. Now, in hindsight, of course, hindsight 2020, I should have made a mandrel or something to hold the fender like this. That way I would be sure and get more of an even coat. It's a little thin up here on top, but not too bad. Now, this is just one coat, all right? You can go back and apply 2, 3 coats. I have applied up to 3 coats before, and it came out fine. It does make it a little darker. Now, this is the biggest piece that I have ever done with a translucent. And the only translucence I've ever used is copper. So it came out fine. Like I said, I would do it like this and not hang it upside down, but that was on me. I should have thought about that beforehand. Anyway, this also goes to prove that if you're going to powder coat something like this size, try it out on something else. Go down to the junkyard or go somewhere and get a part similar to what you're going to use and powder coat it first before you dive into the part you're actually going to powder coat. I found out with this powder, and I knew this beforehand, they say 375 at 10 minutes, 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. 370, especially on thin material like this, I would go with that 370. Do not get over 375. With thin material, it's easy to do that, especially in my oven. Got to keep an eye on it. But I like it. I love this powder, and I like the contrast of it between it and the color black and the color orange. And you'll see why here at the end of the video. I'll have a little montage of this bike that I did, and also something else. Another reason I was using a Harbor Freight in this video is because this bike was done totally with a Harbor Freight. Yeah. Now, my modifications that I do to Harbor Freights with the diffuser and the mixing tube really helps it a lot. If you have a Harbor Freight, I would highly suggest you getting the mixing tube and diffuser kit for it. You can find it in the links below in the description area. Now, everything that I use in here, like the powder coating polish by Eastwood, I'll put a description of that down there too. Of course, Eastwood, pretty much everybody has their address. Just Google it. But that stuff works great. I don't know if Prismatic has anything like this. If they do, I'm going to try it out eventually, but this is almost a full bottle. Now, like I said, I use this when my finish starts to look a little dull on the bike, all right, because I did not put a UV protector over it, a clear coat. Now, this right here does not have a UV protector on it. This is just copper, trans copper 2. And it's just beautiful. But if you want to protect it, and it's going to be out in the sun, if you're going to be a daily driver or take it out a lot, then I do highly suggest using clear coat. If you don't, you will be polishing it every few months, but it's not that hard to polish it. Now, I do appreciate you guys watching, and I did hit 1,000 subscribers. Matter of fact, I'm up to like 1,054, 55, something like that right now at the filming of this video. And I just want to say thanks, guys, for, all of you who keep coming back, and you new guys who subscribe, and, keep on coming back. Remember, if you like the video, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you know my next video is coming out. Now, let's take a look at the motorcycle. I'll see you guys next week.